The Witcher Season 4, starring Liam Hemsworth. I can't believe I'm saying those words, but here we are. It was released over a month ago, so hopefully everyone's had a chance to watch all the new episodes so I can get right into it. This season follows Geralt, Yennefer, and Ciri, but they're not together. They're trekking around the continent separately. Geralt, who is once again on a mission to find Ciri, forms a new motley crew and obviously runs into a few obstacles along the way. Meanwhile, Yennefer's working to gain power among the mages in order to defeat Vilgefortz. And Ciri, who's now calling herself Falca, taps into her darker side and attempts to create a new family with the gang of delinquents she's attached herself to. All right, let's get into it. When I first heard Henry Cavill would be replaced with Liam Hemsworth to play Geralt of Rivia, I thought, well, that's the end of that series. How could they let this happen? I mean, Liam Hemsworth? I thought it was absurd. What a ridiculous, stupid idea. I'm kind of glad that there was a good amount of time between the last season of Cavill's Geralt and this new Geralt, because I don't think I would have given the new season a fair chance otherwise. Spoiler alert. I'm going into details that you may or may not want to hear, so act accordingly. All right, we need to talk about this because apparently we're just replacing Henry Cavill again. Yes, I am referencing Superman, but that's a whole nother video. I mean, I'm open-minded, but am I though? Because Henry Cavill didn't just play Geralt. To me, he was Geralt. First of all, Henry, as I like to call him, was the most believable Superman ever. We can argue about that later, but those are just facts. He played Superman so hard that I never saw him as anything other than that character. Then The Witcher came along and made me forget that he was ever Superman. And then for whatever reason, he's no longer playing Geralt and Liam is chosen to continue the role. I heard several things ranging from creative differences to Henry Cavill being difficult to work with. And let's just cut the crap. We all know what creative differences means. Someone got fired or they quit. Just tell us what we want to know. That first shot of Liam, by the way, I'm just going to call them by their first names like I know them personally. That first shot of Liam as Geralt, when he finally turns his head, I wasn't happy. I felt almost betrayed. I don't think that I accepted it until a few episodes in. Don't get me wrong. It's not that Liam is a bad actor. He definitely had the physique to play the role, which I was also very doubtful about. But he's not Henry. And of course, I don't think anyone could be Henry, so I am aware that it's an unfair comparison. Henry's Geralt was darker, more serious. He was more of a tortured soul, which I feel is what made Geralt Geralt and why I loved him so much. Again, I don't hate Liam, but I also don't remember a single role he played other than Miley Cyrus's former boyfriend or husband or whatever. I guess I'm just a little biased. I'm not sure what he's trying to do with the character. On one hand, I feel like he's trying to emulate how Henry played the role, probably to placate the audience. Like there were little things that I noticed. How he was walking and how he was standing. I thought to myself, okay, you got that. And surprisingly, I think he even nailed the Geralt grunt, which I was specifically waiting to hear to criticize, but I didn't have to. I was placated. On the other hand, he was a softer version of Geralt, less rough around the edges. He was also more pensive and less intense. Side note on the less intense. During some of those action sequences when he was battling someone or something, he was doing this thing where he didn't flinch. Like, no big deal, fighting off this monster, it's taking little to no effort on my part. That whole cool guy, no sweat off my back act. Geralt is strong and powerful, but he's also intense. You take that intensity away and you get a watered down version that is just not believable. So which is it? Are you trying to give us the same Geralt, or are you going to make him your own? Because if you're trying to make him your own, then make him all the way your own. This in between is giving me whiplash and stressing me out. Anywho, well, as always, Jaskier was a delight and provided the perfect amount of comic relief. But Anya Chalotra, she once again delivered as Yennefer. She was the star of this season for sure. I really liked that they amped up her action scenes this season, and she was great in them. I was impressed. On to Ciri. I felt a little cringe with her character this season. All of a sudden, she's supposed to be this heartless bad girl who wants nothing to do with her family. Okay, I get it. She's going through her whole hero's journey, and it's supposed to add depth and meaning to her character, but it just didn't feel like a natural character arc. It felt kind of forced. I never read the books, so I don't know how closely the series follows them, or if this is just a product of the series adaptation. But I didn't buy it. They killed a lot of mages. They killed Istrid. I wasn't expecting that, but I guess the character had nowhere left to go. But it was still sad. And all of Ciri's little rat friends, I mean, they weren't my favorite. They kind of annoyed me. They annoyed me a lot. I didn't care for any of them. Weirdly, I felt a sense of satisfaction when they were all killed off by that bounty hunter. And the whole Emhyr thing, I'm glad that they were not trying to pretend that that was a normal thing. Everyone was rightfully grossed out at the thought of him wanting to impregnate his own daughter. Very Game of Thronesy, but worse. On a happier note, how great was Laurence Fishburne? That was a nice surprise. And I was definitely not expecting to see him in that role. He plays a mysterious vampire named Regis who has a colorful past and ends up being a really interesting and funny character. He's returning for season 5, so I'm really looking forward to seeing more of him. Not a lot of monsters this season, but they more than made up for it in other ways. I do feel that the supporting actors really carried this season, but the storyline was great, which overall made it a very enjoyable watch. Minus the feelings of resentment in the beginning towards new Geralt. I guess I just need a little more time to adjust. I don't know this new Geralt yet, and unless he really comes out of his shell in the first episode or 2 of the next season, which happens to be the final season, I just don't know if he'll be able to deliver the Geralt that we all deserve. Bottom line, it's not as devastating as I thought it would be, although I probably needed at least 2 or 3 more episodes this season to get used to Liam's version of Geralt. In spite of the deep hole left in my heart by Henry Cavill, season 4 was very entertaining and definitely worth the watch. Now we have to wait a whole other year for season 5 to be released. Until then, tell me in the comments what you're currently watching or obsessing over, or which movie or series you'd like a stranger's opinion on, and I will happily oblige. Don't forget to subscribe for weekly reviews and commentary so you don't have to deal with the infinite scroll all by yourself. Till next time, happy streaming.